Hi everyone. Um, I'm Ayden, and I'm going to be making some Rosh Hashanah honey cookies. Yeah.
Awesome. Take it away, Ayden.
First thing you need to do is make sure you wash your hands. Make sure your hands are washed. I like to get my ingredients out before I start baking, just to have everything there, and preheat the oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Okay. Now I get a bowl, and it can either be a bowl attached to like a Cuisinart mixer, or I have like a hand mixer, whatever works. And you start by adding the oil, 2/3 a cup of canola or vegetable oil, and the honey. A tip with measuring honey is to spray the cup before you put the honey in so it doesn't stick that much.
That's a good tip.
This is our
How much honey are we putting in?
1/4 cup of honey.
Nice.
And sugar. We got 1 cup of sugar. A lot of sugar. Let's put the.
Got to keep a clean area. Very nice.
Very important. And should I mute myself while I do this?
No, let's do it.
Okay. A bit messy.
So you're creaming these all together?
Yeah.
Nice.
I like to mix it in between just to keep it a bit neat as possible. And then when it looks sort of like crystally, you add in the egg and the vanilla. We got 1 egg. Make sure you never leave an egg lying out on the table. It could easily fall off. There we go. Like that.
Nice.
1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Yum.
Yes. If you don't get it exact, it's okay.
A little extra vanilla is always good.
Yeah. Especially in these cookies.
Mm-hmm. Have you made these cookies before? Is this something you guys usually make for Rosh Hashanah?
Oh yes, definitely.
Nice.
Now we're gonna mix it a bit more. Now that it's pretty fluffy, we're gonna mix in our dry ingredients here. So we got, my eggshell. We got 2 cups of flour. White all-purpose flour is fine. Knife.
Flat. That's my favorite. It's so satisfying to flatten the flour.
Yes. 1 cup. And there we go. 2 cups. That was a good one. There are videos on TikTok that like rate how satisfying doing that is.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's there, the dirty stuff. Now we got our baking soda. We have 2 teaspoons of baking soda. We got our Trader Joe's.
What does baking soda do to cookies? Do you know? I think it like aerates it, right? Helps it rise.
I once saw this recipe for like an edible cookie dough, and they added baking soda to it to give it a cookie flavor, apparently. Apparently it adds a cookie flavor.
Interesting.
There we go. I personally don't like edible cookie dough. I find it a bit weird to eat.
I agree. I like baked cookies.
Yes. And salt, we also have 1 teaspoon. I'm using the same one because it's just touched the baking soda. Okay.
Nice.
And make sure when you mix, I'm going to mix it in the mixer for a little bit. Then I'm going to use the spatula because it can get a bit full. Yeah, this is gonna be
You got a flour cloud going.
yeah. My bowl was a bit too small. But I always find it fun to mix in the dry ingredients to make it very fun.
What are your favorite cookies that you make? Because I know you do a lot of baking, right? What's your favorite thing to bake?
I think my favorite thing to bake are blueberry crumble muffins.
Ooh.
Those are delicious.
That sounds really good.
Yeah. There's actually a bit of a story with my recipe. Once I was in the East Coast for Passover with my grandparents, and my grandma makes these amazing kosher for Pesach blueberry muffins, and that's what we lived off of that Passover. And I told her I wanted the recipe to make them after Pesach, and she's like, no, you're not going to want to eat them when they're not Pesach. So then she sort of altered the recipe and made it better because you can use actual flour and stuff. And those are now my favorite blueberry muffins ever. It was that recipe.
That's so great. I love recipes that are passed down.
Yeah.
So your grandma created it, you're doing it. Maybe that's something that you'll make with your kids one day, God willing, and so on. It's awesome.
My mom has a huge binder of recipes that she finds online that she prints and puts in paper holder things.
Yeah.
Protectors, whatever. It's a fun binder to look through.
That's awesome.
Okay. So this is our dough. So now what we're going to do is shape them into balls, and you want to get something called turbinado sugar, which is sort of crystallized sugar. You can also use brown sugar if you want to. So here we're going to do this over here.
Can you show us what the dough looks like? Nice. Awesome.
Over here. Okay, here's my turbinado sugar.
Sure. Sounds right.
Trash. Okay, so I'm gonna pretty much estimate how big I'm making these. And make sure your hands are good. I'm gonna actually wash them again. 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta wash your hands, especially after touching the egg and all that. Let's see how these cookies turn out. Are these cookies really sweet, Ayden, or are they a good medium sweetness?
They're pretty sweet. I think the salt really makes it better. It cuts the sweetness. And you can definitely cut the amount of sugar if you want to. Yeah. I wouldn't cut the honey because the honey is pretty important to the flavor. But if you want it to be sweet, then I would cut some of the sugar. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. You know what? I'm going to use a tablespoon. I think that would be a neater way of doing this. Got a tablespoon and got my baking sheet right over here.
Put some parchment paper on top.
Yes, it is sprayed with cooking spray and parchment paper. Okay. Tablespoon. We're gonna take it off, roll it, sort of roll it around in the sugar until it is coated. Put it on the baking tray. It sort of depends on what tray you're using. For mine, I'm gonna do 12 on a tray, 3 by 4. You really want to space them out. So if you can only do 9, it's fine. If you can only do 6 on a tray at a time, that's fine too.
Because they're going to spread out when they bake. Yeah, they're going to flatten.
These spread out a lot, yeah. You don't have to use a
Awesome.
tablespoon. I just sort of like mine to be about the same size. Yeah.
That helps with the baking process too, because then they're all going to be done around the same time. Can you show us the ball after you're done rolling it? Nice. Ooh, yumma.
Yeah. I have found that be really careful when they're in the oven, especially in the last few minutes. I found that every baking sheet, every batch is a bit different. So it might need a few minutes less than I say. It might need a few minutes more. So just like keep an eye on it. You don't want them to burn.
So how long do these go in the oven for?
These are in the oven for about 8 minutes. But at like 6 minutes, I would just like check on them. And if they need a few minutes more than 8, I would like be really careful about watching them
Yeah.
so they don't burn. My dad likes burnt cookies. He likes burnt most things.
He likes them very crispy.
Yeah.
I'm into the chewy crisp. So
Yeah.
it's like right before they get super crispy, but they're chewy, but not underdone.
Perfect cookie right there.
Yep. Awesome.
I'm only gonna finish the one batch in this video so you guys can see. I actually switched it to making 6 cookies on this tray. I just really don't want them to like combine.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Here is the finished tray.
Beautiful.
A bit neater. And they're gonna go into the oven for 8 minutes. And while they're in the oven, we can shape more. Here's what we'll do.
We'll put those in there. And I think we're not gonna be able to wait until they're all done, but Ayden's gonna send us a picture of the finished product that we can post along with this video. And we're gonna let Ayden keep making these cookies. Thank you for joining us for cooking, and thank you, Ayden. We can't wait to taste these. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be thinking of you when they're eating these at their Rosh Hashanah table this year.
Thank you so much.
Yay, thanks.